up, Anders? Ah, fucker. Ugh. There we go. Good start to the day so far. Coffee that'll show up on a drug test. You want strong coffee? Just go right to instant coffee. It'll bring you back to those prison years, you know? Ah, fuck. I hate this weather because my circulation gets all fucked up. Aries, what's up, girl? Long time no see. God, my circulation's all fucked up. Not much, okay, too much? Alright, let's hear it. Elaborate. And you don't gotta do it on here, you can always message me too. You should have seen me yesterday. It was like one of the first lives that I didn't do any flipping. And, like, literally the whole time I was fighting, like, not crying. And, everybody in the fucking chat was just, like, amazing. And, I don't know, I really can't explain how much I value this community. And, everybody that's involved in it, like, super grateful. Super, super grateful. No, don't be. Basically, it's just because I miss my daughter. I was going on like no sleep, and I knew that I wasn't going to be sleeping. I didn't go to sleep until like, well, I guess I did pass out. I passed out fairly early, and then it was like just sporadic, like sleeping, you know, just on and off, on and off. Xenon Gaming, what's up, dude? Long time no anything. I'm good, man. How you doing? How's the game coming? You know what's crazy, Xenon? I specifically remember when I first started my channel, had like maybe 7 subscribers, 7 to 10. And, hell yeah, dude. Sakus, hello. Welcome, welcome. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. That's how you enter giveaways, contests, tip a say-so on the channel. You can become moderators, enter knife designs for when we submit them to Black Balisong. Angel, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, like I said, make sure you guys are subscribed. Aries, you're always, always, always welcome to talk to me about anything, whether it's here or, you know, somewhere else. Give my name, I will subscribe. You guys should go check out Xenon Gaming, XXENON. He's right here in the chat. Cool dude. I've known him for basically my whole YouTube career. He does a lot of creative stuff when it comes to gaming, creating games, characters, stuff like that, so. Alright, Aries, I'll talk to you later. Love you, sweetie. Xenon, I thought you were subscribed. What the hell? Of course, man. I got you. One of the oldest people I've known through YouTube, so very cool, man. I literally have not heard or seen from you in a long time. I think actually I saw you post something not too long ago. I'm from Chicago, but I live in Wisconsin. I've lived here for like going on 7 years now. I looked it up yesterday because I never know when. How much is the clock for you? Right now it's 2:39 p.m. So just the beginning of the afternoon, kind of. Shit. Oh. Let's try that again. And actually, Xenon, when you started... Oh, you stayed up all night, Anders? Appreciate it, Xenon Gaming. Actually, Xenon, when you first started contacting me, like we were doing our back and forth on YouTube, I don't even know what my channel was about at that point. I think it was like recovery, like a lot of the stories, like when I was in Chicago, just like doing hood rat shit. 8th hour after me, yep. But I mean, yeah, it's just wild to even see you on here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I did not sleep amazing, but could be worse, I guess. Ow, that one fucking cut me. There we go. Ow, fucker. How's everybody's day going so far? Thank you, Sakis. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Tomorrow is your exam. I hope it goes well. I hope you do well. I hope everything goes the way you want it to, because that's a lot of stress. A lot of stress and anxiety, man, that's for sure. And nobody likes anxiety. Lily, what's up? What's up? If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Okay, that's how you enter giveaways, contests, have a say-so on the channel. You could submit knife designs, all that fun stuff. Just be a part of the family, the Maz fan. Grandpa's house, nice, nice. Good luck. Oh, I was like, what did I do with the hell? How's it going, Angela? You're the best, Xenon. I still think it's crazy just seeing you pop up in my live again. Like, you're one of the first people I saw when I had like 7 subscribers. It was like right when I think right before my daughter was born, and she just turned 4 in September, so it's been a while. Been a while. This coffee's gonna give me the fucking shakes, I can already tell. I like my coffee like I like my Oakland drug dealers. Just black and angry. Just black and angry. A little bit of sugar. Keep it sweet. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I like your channel too, man. Anything gaming related is always going to be cool. Especially because you're doing it all yourself. Like, I'm pretty sure you do the programming, all that stuff. Like the coding. So, that's a lot. Oh, you're here for the first time? Nice, man. Oh shit, I didn't even... This is, yeah, lately, since my channel's actually been growing, I haven't really been keeping tabs. Back when I had, like... What is black and long? It's a joke. Nights in Antarctica. Nights and days in Antarctica. Or Alaska. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Pretty good possibility of that. Well, I'm glad, man. The KFC line. We had 2 KFCs here in Watertown, Wisconsin. The first one got shut down because they were selling drugs out of the drive-thru. The second one got shut down because it's like Jamaican sausage. That's also a good one. I would love to live in Alaska. Nothing like fighting to survive every day. That gives your life meaning. Yeah, Xenon, this is wild, man. I'm glad you're here, though. I try to go live at least like once a day. If I can, I try to make it a long live. If not, then it's just like sporadic. A few different lives. And the reason I do the lives is because it tends to boost my channel's popularity. I tend to get more engagement. So if you guys do have YouTube channels, I suggest that you go live as much as possible if you have the time to do so. Um, you live 200 miles away from the nearest KFC. You got to go through Popeyes, man. Popeyes is better than KFC, anyways. In my opinion, I just prefer their chicken. My content is flipping knives, doing tricks with them. If I can fucking do the tricks I'm trying to do. Watch, I'll do it with the most dangerous knife. Almost smacked the fuck out of my phone. Let's do that one more time. I don't know if I just cut myself. Sometimes it takes a little bit for that to actually kick in, but I'm definitely gonna cut myself on that catch. Oh my god, this is pissing me off. That's the one thing I hate about this, is it's got a lot of bounce on the handles, which is why it sounds so loud and good in my opinion. There we go. I flip sharp knives. I get cut all the fucking time. This is razor sharp, razor wire kind of a knife. I have a few knives that I flip that aren't sharp, that are also very expensive. As you can see, that has no edge on it at all. Actually, that's a real thick fucking blade. So I mean, yeah, if you drop it high enough on your hand, it'll bruise you, possibly poke you. But otherwise, I mean, it's like a fidget, essentially. So if you don't have a sharp knife, it's like a fidget. Taco Bell, can't go wrong. Best thing at Taco Bell, in my opinion, cheesy gordita crunch, can't go wrong. Yep. And there's kids that flip knives like this, younger than me, that are so much better. It's like really impressive and very inspiring to look at. One thing that sucks about butterfly knives or balisongs is cleaning out the inevitable shit that gets stuck in the pivots, especially if you use holsters or sheaths. I've used so many that I've gotten from like AliExpress from like buying clones and shit, and I mean they work. I haven't had one fail me except one that I had for a really long time. I don't know if I have one laying around right now. Not that I could see. But they, I don't know, they're cheapy little leather sheaths, and they have to have them by regulation, by state, by country, in order to mail a knife. It has to be inside. Can you speak something in Indian language? I cannot. Oh, you know what, Xenon Gaming? You might be somebody completely different. I think I'm thinking of this dude Xenomon. Are you from India? I mean, I could speak English pretty good, luckily. Nice, that makes sense. What part of India? Hey, if you got any friends, like I said, have them subscribe, have them be a part of the community. If you guys want, you can become moderators and stuff. I just try to make sure it's a safe place for everybody that comes here to actually be able to, you know, safely communicate stuff, not have to be bullied or judged, you know. Because we have such a wide spectrum of people that come to these chats and lives, so I want everybody to feel comfortable no matter what. I would hate to find a place that I was comfortable being at and then somebody made me not want to go there. It's like, the only way I could describe that because I've been through it so many fucking times, is, um, oh god, I got this huge ass pimple on the back of my earlobe. Probably from this fucking earring would be my guess. Oh god, it hurts so bad. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I totally forgot what I was talking about now. Finland, hell yeah. I don't know. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm from Chicago, but I live in Wisconsin. Lived here for like 7 years. You have a girlfriend? Nope. I'm a single man. But I think the main reason that I've been single is just because I have a lot of shit going on. Like I have the channel. I'm a parent. I got a daughter that I take care of. Uh, and it's just like a lot of shit. This has been like a crazy year for me. So not in a good way either. Not in a good way. A lot of people are dying, going to jail. Yep. But what's going on in Chicago right now is a lot of shootings. Yep. That's like the wild wild west. And actually, um, what a lot of people don't know is Milwaukee is just as bad. That's right. We're like brothers, man. There we go. There we go. Bonilla Brothers, what's up? Gameplay those? Yeah, I mean, going live is just a good thing. You know about CR? I don't know what CR is. I mean, it makes sense. Like, what a lot of people do is they'll do what I'm doing, except have their front facing camera on whatever device that they're gaming on. And it's crazy because this is a day and age that Finland, Vanta, there was a thing where a student took 4 fish sticks when the limit was 3, and the school called the police. Oh, yeah, Ronaldo? Come on, man. I mean, I personally don't like soccer, but Walking Dead is so good, dude. You can never go wrong with watching Walking Dead. Ever. Brownie, what's up, man? No, I mean, like, oh yeah, that's right. It's called football too, all over the world. So it's like soccer, football. Oh, you had Tuesday off? Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I grew up playing baseball, and then I played lacrosse in high school, and I've played like actual like football, not like in a on a team, but like just with buddies, softball, badminton, tons of stuff. Brown, you always need to sleep. My favorite sport is it's probably a close tie between hockey and and baseball. And the reason I like hockey so much is because the Blackhawks is a Chicago team, and they were incredible, dude. They won the Stanley Cup, and some of my best, most fond memories were watching those games with my best friends. Skiing and ice skating, that's cool. Why the fuck does this light keep down? Oh, because the fucking cord wasn't even plugged in. I've done this so often, it's ridiculous. There we go. Both kinds of skiing? Nice. Alright, Xenon Gaming, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping in. Check in tomorrow, let me know how the exam goes. And good luck. It's fucking hot, holy shit. Oh, no wonder it's been cold. I had the fucking window open. Yeah, that'll explain it. Fuck. Yeah, of course, man. Once you're subscribed, your family. Of the vape or what I'm drinking? I wish for all my subscribers to get everything they want in life without having to struggle to get it. This is sour fucking fab, but I open these up and I refill them myself. So this is. I think it's like blueberry milkshake or something. WAP. Yeah, it's like blueberry milkshake. You want your grandma and your cat back? Brownie, unfortunately, this is like a little bit of advice that I'll give to you as well as everybody else. There's nothing guaranteed in life except disappointment and death. And how you choose to deal with those is going to be a big determining factor on how your life plays out. You can let things destroy you, or you can learn and try and, I guess, turn it into a learning experience. Like when I was younger, I went to a ton of funerals, and they didn't mean shit to me because I didn't understand. And then when you start meeting people that, you know, all right, man, take it easy, get some sleep. Um, you realize there's a lot of stuff that's going to go wrong in your life. And it's how you choose to deal with those things that uh, determine who you are and who you're going to be in the future. But unfortunately, there isn't any like spells to bring people back, you know? So, like, you have to just kind of accept those things. And, like, when people die, it's for various options, whether it's not their time or it is. You have to just assume it was their time. A lot of people make like if let's say you overdose on something, you made that choice to shorten your lifespan. When you're older and it's just like your health deteriorates, there's only so much you can do. You can't stop the inevitable, you know. Um, but one thing that I do like to think is that when you leave this world, you're just waking up from a dream and you're starting another life, you know. So like it's really you are the captain of your own ship at the end of the day. You get to determine where your life goes, to some degree. You know, Maxo, what's up, buddy? It's I don't know, man. Life's crazy. It's really all about what you make of it, and never take the small things for granted, ever. Keep good people around you. You are the company that you keep, and you always will be. That's why I don't got friends, except you guys. Me too. Me too, man. I wish that I could wake up from this dream daily. What's up, Brownie? You guys don't have to stay up to watch this. Like I said, if I get one viewer, it's not going to make a huge difference. I can't force people to watch my stream. If they do, it's great. You know, sometimes I'll have 50 people in here for a second, and then they leave. But it's also because I like to take time and actually communicate with you guys. Like, for me, that makes it more personal. Um, it lets you guys know that I'm real, that I actually am involved, you know, with you guys as well as you being involved with me, the channel, you know, the whole overall goal. But like, yeah, I'm not gonna be mad if you guys leave the stream because you guys have lives outside of this. You know, that's just what happens. Take it off, Brownie. Love you, man. Take it easy. Get some sleep. Yeah, I mean, I'm still significantly small streamer. I've got like almost 1,200 subscribers at this point, so nothing crazy. Can't stop thinking about this girl. It's crazy, like hearing stuff like that because I was the same way when I was young, man. Just like, just such like a love bug. I'm famous. I don't think I'm famous at all. Fame comes with money too. Trust me, I don't got none of that. Maybe down the road if this channel continues to grow. Maxilla, I would assume you are 11 to 14. Anders, I'm pretty sure, is 13. But understand this, the demographic of most people that watch my channel are teenagers. So between the ages of like 9 to 17. Oh, okay, nice. Wrong, try again. 21. Yeah, but you're probably about to turn 16 soon to be my guess. Yeah, okay. That's cooler than saying 15 and a half. $20 subs from just existing. That means you can go live, just like I'm doing right now. 10? Okay, yeah, see, that checks out. That's like pretty much, like I said, my demographic is from like predominantly 9 years old to like 17, 18. No, I'll even say from like 9 years old to 21 years old. Yeah, that happens to me quite often, actually. Wish it happened significantly less, but when you want to be done, you got to be tough, unfortunately. Yep, you need some tape. That's what it is, man. That's the Maztec way. Band aids? No. Put on some fiberglass tape. That won't hurt worse. Makes you tougher. I'm also one of those guys where, like, if I cut my finger open right now, unless I can't stop the bleeding, I'm not going to the hospital. If I got super glue tape, I'll stitch myself up. I don't give a fuck. This time it's bad. God damn it, Anders. Take a picture, post it, and tag me. The gore shot. Yeah, the one that I didn't even know I got cut from the other day on live is just starting to go away now, so. Paper towel and some duct tape, hell yeah. I mean, it depends on how bad the cut is, I guess. You know. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna. Me and my nigga Juice WRLD taking over the universe. You knew it first. Got my mom Chanel with the newest purse, Birkin bag. Never heard to ask what kind of purse is that. Something that's very fucking expensive. I deserve to brag. My murder tracks. This is a mumble. This murder rap type of shit. Your grandma understand with her old ass. What you know about my life and my troubled past? Took the double past. Oh, fiend, we be making moves. Hit the huddle fast. That's a subtle brag. That's either a compliment or an insult. One of the two. See, Fortnite is cool, but if I wanted to build stuff, I'd fucking play Minecraft. Okay? If I want to just like take out my anger and just scream at 3-year-olds with their headsets, going for Call of Duty. 100%. Oh yeah. I mean, I got games. I got a PlayStation. I really don't game. Oh shit. Angry Birds is badass. I actually like the movies. My daughter loves them. From what? Oh, just from like hearing the the sirens put my hat forward, fucking hut up. That's just what I'm used to, really. When you grow up like being a troublemaker and you hear sirens, you're like, oh shit, throw the gun. It's funny too. Like I didn't realize this, but mind you, I'm a criminal. Okay, not a career criminal, but like a petty one, and just grew up doing like a lot of stupid shit. You know, just being a little hood rat troublemaker, and I was like taking pictures for my Facebook and like I think maybe YouTube where I was like trying to sell knives, and I didn't realize I had a pistol in my fucking like big ass like 44 Magnum. God, What's the fucking gun? A Schofield. A Schofield, big ass Western, chromed out revolver inside of my Pelican case with the knife box. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. Fuck. The red mushroom on his head now? Yeah. I mean, I grew up not liking cops, but it's because I was putting myself in so many positions where I had to be in contact with them. And they're there to help. They really are. I mean, unless you're in certain countries where like the cartel and like there's corruption, like Chicago, tons of corruption. Tons of corruption. Cops will beat the shit out of you for jaywalking. Or if you're like a known gang member, they will just beat the shit out of you. If you get arrested or picked up, guess what? From the ride, from where you get picked up to the station, you're gonna get some lumps. 100%. Cook County's no fucking joke. 26 in California, no fucking joke. This is like being beat. That's my boy. Hell yeah, dude. Nobody does it better than me, alright? Anders, you a freak. You a freak, dude. Skiddo, what's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Again, if none of you guys are aware, subscribe. That's how you enter giveaways, contests, have a say-so on the channel, become moderators, all that fun stuff. Gets the adrenaline going. Just choke yourself with a fucking belt. I'm joking. Don't ever do that. Asphyxiation. There's people that do that to whatever, you know. Don't do it. If you like being choked, get a girlfriend, you know. This just makes me feel good. Oh, God. Yep. Relatable. Ever since my parents had my little brother Adam, good kid, amazing kid. Uh, he just got married, and he is going to be an amazing father one day. I already know that much because he's a good uncle, and well, he could be a better uncle, but love him to death. And he, I'll have you do it. Oh Jesus, need a P Diddy in my life. Started a rumor that I have a choking kink. Please help. Could be worse things. You know what I would do if somebody started saying that you had a choking kink? Play off of it. Like if you're in the cafeteria eating or like eating food, just like fake like you're choking, then just go start rubbing your nipples. Hell yeah, that's what I would do. But I love those awkward moments that you can make somebody laugh. Oh my god, I live for that shit. Live for it. Like if this doesn't work out, I'm probably gonna try my hand at comedy at some point because I've always been funny, but I lack the confidence to do it. You know. But until you actually get up there and do it, like I don't know how to fucking write material. I don't know how to do any of that shit. Wake up feeling like P Diddy? Are you currently incarcerated? Are you not eating food? Are you worried that you're gonna get Jeffrey Epstein? Because that dude has a lot of people trying to get him gone. Jit, oh my god, dude, that is a term that should be crowned for gang members. How much do or did pay for school lunch? I've been out of school since 2009. It's currently 2024. And on average, I'd say like for a lunch, it would be like $3, something like that. $3, $4 maybe, five at most, depending on what you were getting specifically. Because they had like set dishes, but you could also like grab extras like cheese, Cheetos. They didn't have soda. They had like Ohanas. Yeah, no, and it's free for a lot of people if you have like a single parent income. If you have like state insurance, stuff like that. So it varies for like the household that you grew up in. You know, whatever tax bracket you're located in, essentially. You know what's crazy to think? I'd hear like grown people talk about stuff when I was younger, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I know what the fuck they're talking about, having no idea, but just being like a young dumb kid, thinking that they know everything. Now when I hear stuff, I'm like, I should have just shut the fuck up and listened instead of just like. And that's the another good piece of advice. Don't try and be. Don't try and be like a person that's always got to have a conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's better to just sit back and observe and listen. There's a saying, the loudest person in the room is usually the brokest. And I think 9 times out of 10, that's potentially true. Excuse me while I light my spliff. Ooh. Ooh. A school tortilla? Like just a flat piece of tortilla? A little weird, but you know what I miss? Well, A, I got kicked out of high school for fighting. And they sent me to an alternative school where we would get the same lunches. And mind you, my mom worked at the high school that I went to as a cafeteria lady. She watched me get into both fights. And the last one was because I know, just eat the kids. I saw that on. Just wasn't gonna acknowledge it, but like the last fight was because somebody came and sat in my seat at the lunch table while I was up getting food. Came back and he's just sitting there. And it's funny because his name is Jazz and me and him are actually really tight. We were friends, and then because we were so much alike, we were like the chubby funny kids in high school. We were so much alike that we hated each other. There can't be two chubby funny kids, you know, and the same like friend group. So we essentially like separated, and then it was just like nonstop beef. And then I was friends with his little brother. I'm still friends with him to this day, Blake, and he is. Both of them are amazing people. Jazz is an amazing dad. He's a barber. He's a car enthusiast, and he. I was hanging out with his little brother and my friend Tui at the time, and we were at his house, and I think we were like smoking weed or something. And his brother comes down, and I would always avoid him just because like I wasn't trying to fight him, but like I was just kind of over the drama at that point. And it, it's just like it's to me it's just funny as fuck because it would make sense when you have so much in common with somebody to just be friends with them. And like we're pretty good friends now, I'd think. I don't talk to him every day, but like I see him, he sees me like on social media and stuff like that because he still lives in Illinois. He's doing his thing. He's doing a lot of big stuff actually, um, and it's just like wild that I was so ready to like make a name for myself that I wasn't thinking about my future. The kid edits and draws. What's up, man? Welcome, welcome. I used to be like that, Anders, but I just used to smoke a lot of weed and be on a lot of like opiates, like just pills, perks, Vicodin, stuff like that. So I would just be like zonked, like, oh, dude, I'm gonna make a mac and cheese pizza sandwich, dude. And like, I would do that. I'm gonna tell you this, guys, one last fucking time. You better listen. Don't apologize for having a life. Just because you see Mass Tech is live doesn't mean I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? If nobody's here, I'll just end the live. It's not a big deal. That's why sometimes you'll see me do like 5 lives in a day, and they're like 5, 20 minutes, 17, whatever. Gotta go on the Oxy. That was my drug of choice. 40 milligram Oxycontins. And at one point I was taking like 5 a day. That's a lot. That's like Juice World status, dude. Like, he wasn't even taking Oxy. Well, I mean, Percocets are just like cut down Oxycontin, essentially. Sorry I have a life. Obviously I don't. The fuck? Who else does 5 hour lives at night? Baseball? Hell yeah. I love baseball. Love it. My favorite position was a catcher. Pause. Um, it was just like a strong feeling, like knowing that there's a lot of trust in the team with you. I liked playing shortstop as well as like a midfielder, so like you're like out the outfield essentially, and pitcher and third baseman. Hell yeah, I would have loved to be a pitcher. I just did not have the accuracy or the power, but I didn't really put a lot of time and effort into it. I could hit. Um, Take it easy, Edits, man. You're always welcome to stop in and do whatever you got to do, but obviously, life happens. It's not like I'm mad at you guys for that stuff. I'm glad you guys are living your life. I encourage it. Brain fart. No, it's not what it is. Coffee's kicking and it's super fucking strong. If you're gonna drink coffee, drink instant coffee. Drink coffee like you went to prison and did a hard time. And then make jailhouse burritos and show off your high quality tattoos. Um, I get my daughter tomorrow. Got to see my probation officer, gang. Um, and then what else? I think that's really it, honestly. Me and Nova will probably, and that's what sucks too about having Nova when it's like cold out, because she's a kid. I like to take her outside. Like, we go to the river and stuff. But when it's colder, it makes it less appealing and appeasing to the average person. Like, I want to go outside and freeze my ass off. But like, Nova just likes being outside. She likes playing in the dirt, getting. She's 4. So it's really like my biggest thing was, as a father, I always feel like I'm not doing enough because I'm not. You know, I get her on weekends, so it always feels like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not seeing her enough. I'm not involved enough, and it's still fresh. Again, the separation happened in like February, so it's like still like I'm aware that it's done. Sometimes there's like that awe factor where you're like stuck in purgatory, like what the fuck is happening? Is this real? And sometimes that breaks people, and it definitely broke me for a little bit, 100%. I was off the wagon. I was doing a lot of drinking and drugging, and then I got back into posting, and then I took like a little half a month, 3 week hiatus or something like that. And yeah, I mean, I just like I worry because with winter coming, like I said, seasonal depression sucks, dude. It's a real thing. Like hard balls thrown on my face just one time. I had to quit baseball because the white balls hit me in the nose and broke it. I've gotten fucked up a lot. I've never broken a bone except for like my toe, and like I've definitely fucked up my collarbone probably a few times just from falling. I couldn't tell you the degrees. Maybe I could. I used to have a thermometer up here. Little magnetic thermometer. It's probably dead. It guaranteed needs a new battery. Um, but I had this when I was growing weed in this same room. I had a huge grow tent. Um, there's probably content of that on my YouTube, like deep in the fucking archives, honestly. But yeah, this will tell you the. I think there was a two-piece to this. This was like the outside unit or the inside unit, and then there'd be an outside unit to tell you inside and outside temperature differences. I specifically remember going into Menards with Nova's mom to buy this, actually. Pretty funny. Good times. I couldn't tell you. I could probably check my phone and shit, but my guess would be like 50, 50 degrees ish, maybe 60, because it doesn't look bad out at all. Like it's bright and shiny out here. I don't know if you guys, here, I'll try and give you a better picture. You guys see those two cranes? There's a bridge down. It's like the main bridge. I live on 2nd Street, which is here. And then the street that the bridge is out on, that is 1st Street. And it's 1st and Main Street. Main Street goes right through Watertown. Watertown's a pretty small town. It's like 5 miles by 5 miles. It's like 45 minutes away from Madison, Wisconsin, and about 45 minutes to an hour from Milwaukee. More specifically, the north side, which is the worst fucking area, dude. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. -27 degrees outside. Oh, -27. Holy shit. Yeah, my eyes are getting terrible, and I'm sure staring at this bright light behind the phone doesn't help. How many wishes do I get a day? Isn't there like a quota? Like a genie quota of a genie? You should make it not Vegeta or Vegeto, but make it Vagini instead of vagina. That'd be funny. 2 or 1. It's pretty average, I guess. If I was a genie, I would do 3. Forever. Not a day. Um, um, I was like, I could do something corny like, I wish for world peace. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. As long as we're able to shoot people with guns, it'll never fucking happen. But you don't even need guns now. You got UAPs, which are unidentified aerial phenomenons, and those, my friends, are UFOs. Drones, stuff like that. Well, actually, a UAP wouldn't be a drone because it's unidentified. Drones are identified. But we have man-made UAPs. That's a fact. Bigfoot exists. That's a fact. Aliens have been acknowledged. That's a fact. Antarctica is hiding a lot of shit. That's a fact. It used to be a tropical climate in Antarctica. That's a fact. Or like a rainforest, I believe. A lush rainforest region. Giants still, to this day, exist, and they're called Nephilim. You guys don't believe me? Do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and look up the Kandahar Giant. It is where a group of Green Berets go missing, So they send in an extraction team to go and locate the last place that their coordinates clicked. So they're going up this like goat path in a mountain in Kandahar, Afghanistan, and they like start seeing equipment scattered of like United States forces, different, they have like patches and shit, clothing ripped, like broken radios. Then they come to like this big mouth of a cave, and as they peer in, it's like a big drop. So it's not like a cave that just goes flat in. And Beth McGuire, what's up? What happened was they were like, guns at the ready, looking down the position and stuff because they see all this equipment scattered. And then they see a huge lance. A lance, if you don't know, is a spear. A huge, like 16 to 20-foot lance shoot out of the cave and impales one of the operators, instantly kills him. Then they see this huge, and I believe it's like a 12-foot long red haired giant wearing like animal skins with 6 fingers and toes and 2 sets of teeth came out, and instantly there was a pause, but then they snapped out of it and they started engaging this thing, and within about 30 seconds they took it down. And that's when they were like, what the fuck just happened? So they called it in, and they had to have 2 separate helos come, one to extract the team that just killed this thing, and a whole separate Chinook helicopter to pick this fucking thing up and take it. And I believe it was taken to a base in like Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, or Utah. Haven't seen him since the cave ages. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. But there's plenty of stories like that because when you are an operator or you know, a serviceman, we'll say, in whatever kind of, whether you're Navy, Airborne, Army, Marines, anything else, Coast Guard that I may not have mentioned, but I love Skinwalker Ranch. Love that shit. But there's a lot of things that they have to. So if I'm a sniper and I'm sitting and I'm waiting on a high value target, or I'm just doing like cover for ground troops, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be in a high point or a bird's nest or a place where you're not going to. You could be there for days and you can't fucking move because your job is to make sure that Marines don't get killed, Navy SEALmen don't get killed, any servicemen don't get killed. Then when you're done with your mission, you have to do what is called a after action report. So if you kill a fucking giant in Kandahar, Afghanistan, what do you think they're going to want you to write down? That you killed a giant? No. They're going to say that you came into contact with enemy forces, guerrilla soldiers, something of that nature in the fucking mountains. And mind you, Afghanistan is such a vast, like, landscape of mountainous terrain, okay? It's a very old place. So, and there's like a lot of lore with it too. Um, I mean, kind of war stories, I guess, but I don't know, there's just like a lot of stuff that gets like swept under the rug because it's military. There's also like parts of the military. My real name is John Jingle Heimerschmidt. John Jacob, actually. No, it's Matthew. If I'm in trouble, it's Matthew. If I'm in deep shit, it's Matthew Jacob. Otherwise, it's just Matt. And no, dude, yeah, there's a lot of shit. I have buddies I have a buddy named Eddie, one of my very best friends, and he, his sister's husband, we call him Big Ricky. He was a Marine. Well, you're always a fucking Marine unless you get discharged. Um, I mean, even if you're dishonorably discharged, I don't know how that works per se. Like my dad was a Marine officer or an officer in the Marines, and he did the schooling for it, and then he got discharged, honorably discharged, because he had an injury that wouldn't allow him to do his duty. Um, he like fell on some like rocks when he was like younger and like fucked up his knee. He still got a bad knee, but he fucking pushes through it. Um, but he would get drunk and like like some people don't like talking about that stuff. Like if you've taken life, it's either a hard thing to Nanya, what's up, man? It's like a hard thing to come to terms with. But when that's your job, that's your occupation, that's what you're fucking good at. That's why when you see servicemen come back to the United States, keep in mind these people are trained to kill, and that's it. Nothing else. Extract, protect, kill, dominate. America's up there. Trust me, we got nukes, dog. Um, but like when you come back to you know country where you're just living a normal life, how do you transition from being on high alert 24/7? That's why a lot of people have mental disorders when they come back from the service because what you think that stuff is just what you've seen in movies. But keep in mind, most of the war in Iraq and all of the war in Ukraine right now and Russia, everybody's wearing fucking GoPros. Everybody. And the new thing is drones. You could 3D print them for dirt cheap, put a grenade on them with a claw that just drops it above enemies, tanks, whatever. And that's how a lot of people are doing that now. What's up, Katie? No, there's tons of crazy stories out there though. I believe it. Oh yeah, a lot. And I mean it's fun to watch because like it's a real perspective of what's going on because otherwise you just hear the jargon that you're getting from news stations and shit like that. But honors, always a pleasure, man. Take it easy. Love you, buddy. um, until like you've taken a life, you don't know what it's like. You don't know how you're going to process that, if you're going to process that. But when that's your job, you don't really have much of a choice. You're forced to continue, and sometimes that breaks people. Sometimes people are like, there's no better feeling than taking the life of an enemy, you know. The bad Diddy, no, I could fight. Plus I would just shoot him. Be that simple. I don't have a car for him to blow up. um, yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy stories, man. A lot of conspiracy theories. um, and it's hard to determine what's true and what's not because there's something called propaganda. And if you're not aware, I'll let you know. That's where the media and places that target mass consumership will post something, and because everybody sees it, everybody believes it. Now, keep in mind, everybody's got their own say so on things. I mean, you could attempt to sing your favorite song in chat, as long as it's not Crazy Frog or that Gummy Bear fucking song. Only because I love them too much. Anyways, those Marines get back and they say, "We killed a giant." Like, that's what happened. They turn in their after action reports, and uh, high command is like, "No, you're writing something different. You're not going to write down that you guys killed a fucking giant." And keep in mind, there's evidence everywhere of giants. There's giant footprints. There's there's huge. And here's another thing too, a big conspiracy theory. Um, we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan for oil. 9/11, I think, was an inside job because statistics show jet fuel burns at a certain temperature. Those beams were not able to be melted like that. There was explosions that they said would happen at the base of the towers. Blah 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 blah. You can do what you want. There was also a live camera footage from a helicopter where somebody said that a plane just hit the tower, but it didn't happen yet. And then you see it happen. And you're like, how the fuck did they know that? So, um, are you talking about Nicholas Irvine? That black dude with the dreads? Fiend, fine, what? Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stories, man. Um, I'm trying to think of something else. Well, there's a what people are saying is one of the most deadly snipers with some of the most confirmed kills. Um, yeah, you can sing whatever you want in chat, dude. I'm just ranting. Um, Nicholas Irvine is one of those. Chris Kyle's one of those. Who else? There's a lot of badass motherfuckers out there. Um, but the I'm trying to think of more war stories I heard of, or just conspiracy theories. Oh, that's right. I was talking about giants. There is like, I mean, Abraham. Didn't he fucking kill a giant? Or was no? Wait, who was that? Not Abraham. Was it Abraham? Oh, God, I can't think of it. 500 confirmed kills. That's what I was gonna say. So when you're like a sniper and you're doing that shit, you have to confirm your kills, which means you have to go out there to where you shot somebody, whether that's a mile away. And sometimes those bodies are exploded, which means you have to part together a body to say, oh, this is one body. So, Isaiah Chrome, appreciate it. You should subscribe if you're not already. Um, yeah, I mean, there's the Solomon Islands. People have videos of giants. There's, and mind you, Afghanistan is very old, very, very old place. A lot of some call it the cradle of civilization, just like Africa, had some of the first inhabitants. So, like, they, and there's so many cave systems, keep in mind we were taught that the middle of the earth was lava. Now we're told it's just a metal sphere that rotates, and then it started rotating counterclockwise or whatever. Um, what would make you think that there's not like inner Earth civilizations? Even when they drill for oil, they're not going crazy deep. Sometimes they do, but in comparison to how deep the Earth's crust is, giants are not real. All right, if you say so. There are so many old temples with doors that are 25 feet tall for no reason. Why? Who's able to move that fucking door? Nobody. Another thing, how are the pyramids built? Is it possible that, hear me out, a bigger human could lift those blocks? Or that there was ancient technologies that we don't know about? I think it's very possible. When Hitler was, you know, raining terror on everybody, he was very interested in the occult stuff, and like he had people go to Tibet um, and like research ancient technologies and like magic and shit like that because he wanted to dominate. And they think that he had some type of, he was looking for technology or something like that. And when we won the war, we took all of the German scientists, and that's what a lot of high military ranking people are. A lot of people in NASA are Nazis. And how do you know? Because when you're becoming a Nazi, in Germany, what they did was they had dueling with swords, and they wouldn't wear a mask. And what they would do is, if you got a dueling scar on your face from being cut, they would shove horsehair in it to make it look like crazy scar and scary because it was to intimidate people. If you look on NASA's board, there are people that have those fucking dueling scars with with German last names. Some of them were SS. I'm telling you. Me too. I'm telling you. And I'm sure that giants do exist. You don't see them everywhere. You do have tall people. Look at fucking Yao Ming. He's a fucking giant. He's an Asian giant. There's videos of giants, very old ones. The Chicago Fair, not the Chicago. Yeah, it was the Chicago. What was it? It was this huge, huge spectacle. They basically built all these buildings for this fair. Okay, and there's video footage of this too, mind you. There are extremely tall people compared to the other normal people, and these people came in, set this huge fair up, and then when the fair was done, they burnt everything to the ground. There's evidence of floods. They found fucking Noah's Ark in Turkey on top of a mountain. Confirmed. Like, this is all real shit. How do they know it was the Ark? Because in biblical text, there's exact measurements of the fucking Ark, and they measured it in cubits. So when you know what a cubit is equated to in whatever, math you're using for that equation to see if it matches up, you know? There's a lot of shit that could be, give you a fit check. Got some fucking dad khaki shorts. Got my Grim Reaper shirt on. Love this shit. I just like the color combo of blue and red because I'm a slut for Super Mario. Take it easy, Anders. Correct. That's right, in Turkey. And mind you, you're like, how the fuck did a boat get on a mountain, Maztec? You're full of shit. Yeah, well, you know how floodwaters rise? When they lower, wherever it was at is where it sat. You're not gonna, unless they, and they found very, very old nails that, like nails nowadays are like circular, they're mass produced. Back then you had to hand forge them. There's people that still hand forge nails. It's a process. There is a lot of stuff that has been mix and matched for certain agendas. And even like with, you have like you have religions that are like back and forth about like Muhammad, or Jehovah and shit like that. That literally, like the Crusades, the Knights Templar, like the Crusades were people killing people based on religion. So like it's wild that I gobble my throat. And the Knights Templar, their job was to get a ton of gold and like relics and protect them, essentially. There is some artifacts that are said to have immense power to them. There is a staff like a spear, and they say it's the spear that went through Jesus Christ when he was crucified. And they actually have that spear. There is evidence of Jesus being real. He had a house in where the fuck is it? I don't remember exactly where it's at. I know like the area, but I don't know like the exact town. But when he was taken off the cross and laid to rest, before he rose again, they put a sheet over him. They have that sheet, and if you look, they'll put a light behind it, and you see fucking Jesus in the sheet. There's crazy stuff like that, man. Um, they found the Ark of the Covenant, and what I think it is, it's just like a big battery. It's got two cherubs on the side, um, and it's a big golden like box. They say that they found it in a lead box underneath the Sphinx or something like that. There's a bunch of mixed stories with that kind of stuff though too, so it's kind of like take it with a grain of salt. Read between the lines if you can, but there's also places that like what the fuck is it? Is it Mount Hermon? Where they said that Jesus came down and like rained fire and like there's stone on the mountain that's like burnt, like sulfur, like pebbles from it raining sulfur. Um, I don't know, man. There's tons of crazy shit out there. Do your research, obviously, independently. What I'm not saying is a fact because research is limited. Obviously, a lot of people use the internet. You could put anything you want on the fucking internet. I could say Michael Jackson's alive, and people will believe it. And he might be. Who knows? I mean, he is Thriller. Them's his facts. God, what else? Billy Carlson, the black gentleman who's like a person always speaking on like the Anunnaki, the Emerald Tablets, stuff like that. Um, I believe in that. The Book of Enoch speaks of giants, um, and the Watchers, fallen angels. That's why I have an FA tattooed here. FA. It was actually going to be for Famous Footwear, and then I was like, no, this makes more sense. People are like, is it a gang? I'm like, maybe, I don't fucking know. Um, but what giants are Nephilim, and what that means is when a angel re- reproduces with a human, they make these giants. And what they said was, and even like ancient Indian texts, like native texts, like Native American, because you got to figure those people were like living on the plains in the deserts and stuff. They said that like these fallen angels or watchers would come down, have sex with their women, and then these women would give birth to these giants, these large humanoids that had insatiable like hunger, so they started eating the people, like cannibalism, so they would chase them out of the fucking town. So it wouldn't be far fetched to think that these things have just been in the mountains, you know. And who knows if they can live to be 1,000? Who knows? Um, there is a lot of like super cool information out there that again you just got to kind of take with a grain of salt. But I love that kind of stuff because if it is true, that means that everything we've been taught has to be retaught, and that also means that there was the great obsolescence, which is just like, sorry, I gotta text my roommate back real quick. The planned obsolescence, where it's like, here's a good example. The first light bulb ever created still lights today. Don't believe me? Look it up. The first light bulb ever that was made still lights up today. Why do you have to go and buy light bulbs all the time? Fair question, right? Consumerism. Really, that's really what it boils down to, and it's a really good example. Thomas Edison, and well, an even better example would be Nikola Tesla was tapping into free energy from the atmosphere. He built this tower that had a huge dome on it. It looked like a water tower, kind of. And what it was doing is it was powering I think it was like a small town in Colorado, actually. And then they tore down that tower because free energy, there's nothing to profit on. So that's like another thing that's kind of weird, but yeah, I've seen people shoot Nokias with pistols and then make phone calls on them afterwards. Those things are impenetrable. They also say that cell phone technology was given to us by aliens. Same with GPS technology. I don't know if that's true or not. There is evidence too of like artifacts that are carbon dated, like in an era where it's like the Bronze Age. They had like stainless steel or something different, or like iron. So that means that people, there's also been like hand carved artifacts of like people riding dinosaurs, which screws up the narrative that dinosaurs were before us. There's also evidence that there's still fucking dinosaurs here. There is a large area in Africa that is just swamp that is almost the size of the United States. 80%, I think it's like 80 or 88% of it's still unexplored. And there is a dinosaur called like Moekele Bembe or something like that. And it's just like an herbivore type thing. They say it's like the size of a hippo with a, so they're about 20-foot tail to head. Um, Loch Ness Monster, that's a plesiosaur. I used to have one of their teeth, like a Loch Ness Monster tooth, like for real. Um, Dragons. Another really big conspiracy theory is that there was like people saying dinosaurs had like hollow bones, and that's what birds have. And then because you don't ever see a dinosaur that's freshly dead, um, what they think is that dinosaurs were dragons. They have wings, and that's why they had hollow bones because they were bird-like. And they also think that some of them had feathers. So you know, a lot of cool stuff to think about. Um, God, what else, man? Well, the Loch Ness monster is based off of a dinosaur that actually exists, where they have fossils, bones of that. It's called a plesiosaur or a plesiosaur or something like that. And it's like a long neck dinosaur with fins, essentially. So they did, they may still exist. You got to figure how much of the ocean's actually discovered. You know, mermaids could be real for all we fucking know. A lot of people don't even think that aliens are from out of outer space. They think that they're from the ocean because so much of the ocean's undiscovered. Alien crafts can cloak themselves and shit like that. Like they're made out of materials that we can't even fathom. Um, oh, the sightings. I thought that there was a few that were just ducks on the water. You know, because you just see like the hump and then the neck. Um, that or I forgot what they're called. Where it's like a huge fucking tree underwater, but like little bit of it sticks up. I forgot what those are called. They're not widow makers. That's when a fucking tree is like about to fall. There's a term for it. If you know, let me know in the comments. But There's also video footage of like underwater. There's and it's so hard because I've tried to find it. Um, there's a picture of a fucking like it looks like a dragon face almost with. It's so hard to describe. It looks like a bird and a giraffe. It's got like two giraffe horns on it, but it's got like these weird things. Try and look it up if you can. And I think it was maybe in Michigan or like Utah or something crazy like that. But it's just below the water, and it's like these two, like an old couple, like took a video or a picture of it, and I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? Because like you have to figure we're discovering new species all the time. Like there is a, I forgot what it's called, but it's in or from Africa, I think. Don't know the specific region, but it's like a half and half hybrid of like a good example, a lion tiger, a liger. That's a real fucking thing. Um, there's video footage of woolly mammoths that are like crossing. I don't know if it's in like Antarctica or Alaska or something like that. Um, the Indiana Jones Loch Ness monster. Is that a thing? If it is, that's cool. Um, they still don't fully know how bicycle works. I still think it's crazy that the Wright brothers used a bike for the first airplane, essentially. Like, think about that. The first airplane was like, it's like rope, bed sheets, and like a metal frame. But you're like, you got goggles on because you're sitting on a metal frame with like hand levers, essentially. Um, then they started putting propellers on them. Then they started enclosing them. Then they're like, we could put some bombs on these motherfuckers. Then they're like, hey, we could turn this into money with traveling because, you know, both pizza and burritos. A burrito or a pizza. Put that in my memoirs. There's also a thing called the Dark Pyramid, which is supposedly under Alaska. Um, it's like a underground pyramid, and it's all black. And they say that it's what causes a lot of like aerial disturbance. Um, but with pyramids, they realized like there was this scan that was done that picks up like energy um, and like electricity essentially, and there's these bubbles of like this energy above, and like these are, I think they're from like drones or planes that like survey the area with like different like lidar kind of scopes and shit like that, infrared or whatever. And I don't know how they picked it up, but there's like bubbles above the like the pyramids, and they say it's like energy, and that's what they think that the pyramids were generators. They're aligned with like certain uh, like solar patterns, I guess, and inside the pyramids there's like channels where there would be water flowing through them, and I don't know if it's like quartz or like limestone, but whatever happened there. And even people like when they go in the pyramids, because obviously you can visit them, you can go inside them and shit. It's like really claustrophobic because they weren't meant to be living quarters. Obviously, they had other uses, but they said that it. I didn't. What I did see though, and another thing a lot of people don't know, the pyramids aren't like this. They're essentially like this because there was capstones on them that were covered in gold. So if you look at the Luxor in Las Vegas, that's what the pyramids used to look like. Not black, but they would have the one in the Luxor, the top, I believe, is just a big bright light that shoots straight up. The Great Pyramids would have gold capstones on them, um, but they were removed. Why? I have no idea. Um, could have been during the Napoleonic era where he took a fucking cannon and shot the nose off of a sphinx. A lot of people think that the nose removed from the sphinx was because it was supposed to be a cat. I think it's because that African Americans are the first people um, in the Bible. They even like were told, maybe it wasn't the Bible, but in ancient texts they were told like, you guys will forget where you came from, shit like that. Because think about this: every type of person has a deity or a god. Black people don't. You know, like in their like the culture of their history. You know, so that's why they are told and believe that they come from kings and queens, because I think they do. I think that if you were somebody in Egypt back when pharaohs were roaming, you didn't look like this when you're in a desert. You're going to be predominantly darker. Um, and I think it's very possible that if Egyptians weren't black, then I don't fucking know what's going on. And just because you're black doesn't mean you're like this color, you know? This is the color black. I don't even like calling colored people black or colored for that matter. We're all different shades of brown. I'm not fucking white. I could show you white. That's white. I'm like peach. So like we're all different shades. We're all pretty much the same though. I don't think there should ever be cultural divides. Like when you have like what's the big one where so in I think it's Israel. I'm pretty sure it is in Israel, where they're Hamas and everybody just back and forth, fighting over religious stuff. Where it's always war, always, all the time. And I think it all started because there was a golden calf that was, I forgot the purpose of it, but it was a like a religious symbol, and I don't know if somebody stole it or blew it up, and I think that's what all that was caused over too, which didn't help. But they also think that we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan for oil. Another theory is that Saddam Hussein, and I'll give you a little history lesson here if you guys don't know this. George Bush's dad, George Herbert Walker Bush, George Bush Sr., uh, grew up in Tennessee, you know. He gave weapons of mass destruction to Saddam Hussein. He gave them weapons, military training, and they were our ally. And then 9/11 happens. We go in there, balls deep, man. And that dude had tons of money, American money, all different types of money. But what a theory is, there's a dude named Nebuchadnezzar, and they think he was a demigod or like a person of great biblical power. And I forgot what this temple is. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. I think it's called the Terrorat. And it's like this big. It's a shell of what it once was, mind you. It used to be a lot bigger. But he found this temple, and I think it's called the Terrorat. And thank you for subbing. Emily Bradley, appreciate it. If you guys haven't subbed, please do so. It helps the channel. That's how you guys enter giveaways, contests, have a say so on the channel. Can send in ideas for knife designs. Again, you can be moderators if you want. So like, I want to say it is the Terrorat. what I'm thinking of, unless that's like a book that I'm mistaking this term for. But it's a stone building, and it's massive, massive. It's got huge doors that are way too big for normal humans. Um, and what they think is that Saddam was looking for any way to win the war, just like Hitler did. You know, Hitler went to Antarctica. The Germans were the first people to go there, and then we went because we're like, what the fuck are the Germans doing there? Um, but apparently, like, and if you guys don't know, there's what is it, Project High Jump or Project Paperclip or something like that. I think it's, don't quote me on that. I think it's Project High Jump, where Admiral Byrd goes on a humanitarian kind of mission to explore. If I'm going to explore something, I'm going to take a plane and like survival stuff, you know, maybe a rifle. He took armada, an armada, okay, of warships, bomber style airplanes, and plenty of troops. So they went there. He was flying over this area, and look into it, watch the videos, look it up. It's so fucking interesting. And as always, do your own research, because people can tell you that I'm blue, and you could believe them, but unless you look into it yourself, you know, have your own opinion on things. So Admiral Byrd apparently was exploring Antarctica. They set up shop. They were doing research, getting like samples, drilling into the ice, shit like that. And because again, there's plenty of maps out there that have Antarctica on it that aren't covered in snow. And there's other land masses that now aren't even on the globe. And mind you, Pangea is a real thing. With global warming, waters rising, lowering, shit like that, you know, you could have an island disappear like that. So they, Admiral Byrd takes this huge ass armada, fleet, if you will, and he was flying in like a plane. I think he was by himself. And at one point, he couldn't control his plane. It was like being pulled. And, or no, what happened was he saw this big cave opening, like a big hole. And he went into it because it was that big that he could fly a plane into it. So he did that, and he said that there was like a crystal city or something like that. And I don't know if it's Lemuria or Inner Earth, or Agartha is another term for it. Um, but he said that crafts intercepted him and took control of his plane and brought him. And he said that they were Nazi UFOs. They had swastikas on them. So, oh, I believe it, man. The Earth is a crazy place. So he said he was intercepted by Nazi UFOs. He said that there was like these blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. It's a very interesting story. And then he did um, some interviews, and he had like a journal that his son found or something like that. It's a lot of hearsay. Theo FN1, what's up, man? Um, but yeah, dude, like Saddam Hussein apparently had and Nebuchadnezzar, I think, was the one who ran the terror at in, I don't know if that was Iraq, um, but they thought that he had a portal, I guess, inside that building of some sort that he was trying to, because Saddam Hussein thought he was King Nebuchadnezzar reincarnated. So he was fucking crazy, obviously. They call him the Godfather because of how much money and shit he had. And then they killed him like a fucking dog, which he deserved. But he apparently found some ancient like portal mechanism, and you see pictures of these all over. Um, and he didn't know how to work it. So apparently, allegedly, we caught wind of that, and we're like, we can't let him get a fucking portal or start time traveling or whatever the fuck it is. So they invade Iraq for that reason, supposedly. Another cool thing you guys can also look into, there is a podcast by a gentleman named Sean Ryan. He is, I think he's like ex Special Forces. Super, super great podcast. Love watching it. He has tons of great guests on there. Um, he has, I think it's like Dr. Stephen Greer, who's like lead of the UFO research. And what they do is he has like whistleblowers from the military, like government contractors and stuff like that, because there are entities that are government that are outside of the government where they don't have to answer to USA, but they, you know, operate whatever and do whatever they want. There's been UFO technologies seen in certain bases and installations all over the country. So, is it real? I think if enough people believe in it, probably. But, I mean, in the end, who knows? Unless you're there physically looking at it yourself, it's hard to determine. But I also think it's very possible that a lot of that shit does exist. It's just like werewolves, vampires. I believe vampires probably do exist. There's a guy on TikTok and YouTube, a black gentleman who calls himself Domo. And you guys can look this up too. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's real or not, but he claims to be a vampire, drinks blood, seems like a decent dude. Um, and people are always like questioning him to like prove it. Let me see your birth certificate. And he claims to be on his like 11th life, like he's lived all these different lives or whatever. It's just like very interesting stuff because it makes you question your beliefs and what you thought you know, and it really gives you the opportunity to make choices for yourself as far as like what you believe, what you think is possible. Because keep in mind, we can believe in something and not see it. Kids do it all the time with Santa Claus. And air, it's real. Oxygen is real. We can't see it. I mean, you can technically, but really, what you're seeing, like when it's cold out, is moisture leaving your body. So that's not really a good example, I guess. But there, there's so much stuff, man. So much stuff that they don't want you to know that you can easily find out, and it's cool because the internet gives everybody access to everything. There's been stuff leaked by hackers, and some people think like, and keep in mind the government is talking about UAPs, and the reason they're called unidentified, so UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and then I think it's USOs, which are unidentified submergible objects, which was like water based. Um, People do think that there's underwater UFO bases, and it wouldn't fucking surprise me. There's videos of a UFO going in and out of a volcano. You know, like it's kind of fucking crazy. There's video of a UFO disarming a nuclear warhead that they shot into the air to test. There's leaked government documents confirming that they had a crash and recovered bodies of extraterrestrials, um, whether they were held captive by us or they were there voluntarily. You know, we'll never truly know, I guess. But um, God, there's somebody else that I can't think of his name who worked. I don't know if it was the Nevada Air Force Base, but he was part of a project that was meant to reverse engineer UFOs. They had, I think, I don't know if it's seven, like six or nine different UFOs, but he said, like, let's say you have one that's like the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. That's how it looks from the outside. When you enter it, it's the size of a football stadium. So it bends time and space around it. We don't understand that. Um, so they said that they had, it was a like an Air Force hangar. Like if you go to an airport and you see like those buildings, but they said this was built into the side of the mountain where there's hangar doors that open up. And he said the first day there, he was walking through, and the guy that was giving the tour said, "Hands and eyes to yourself." So they walk into this hangar, and I think there was like seven doors open, but like nine craft or something like that. Yes, that cartoon logic. But he said that it's not Stephen Greer. I can't think of his name. Something Hancock, maybe. Um, but people called him a liar, bullshitter. The government came out and said that he was lying. They destroyed all of the evidence, but then there's actual evidence that came up of him actually working at the place that they denied that he worked at. He has video footage of him and his friends in the desert. They got like a little camper or a trailer and just camped into the desert where you could see the base. And they're sitting there recording it, and you see alien craft rise up, and like they're doing like maneuvering practice or something like that, you know. And you see him go up, down, do like weird motions and shit, you know. But he said that when he went into this hangar, he saw these crafts, and the first thing he saw was a big United States flag on the side of this flying saucer. The first one that he saw, because he walks in, this is the first one, and he could see different other ones all the way down because the hangar doors were open. And he said that he ran his hand along the side, and he's like, "Oh, that makes sense." He's like, you know, these are just man-made vehicles that everybody thinks are alien craft. And then he gets reprimanded right away for touching it. Um, but apparently, out of those nine craft, they would have two people working on a craft, two engineers, scientists, whatever it is that they have hired to do these tasks and try and reverse engineer technology and try and understand it or recreate it. People have been killed by trying to tap into these technologies, because if you don't understand electricity and you take a screwdriver and shove it in a fucking, you know, a light socket, you're going to get electrocuted. And unfortunately, that's how the first person finds out not to do that, you know. So he was saying that one of these crafts was found in an archaeological dig. An archaeological dig, okay? An archaeological dig is where you're looking for fossils, stuff of that proportion, like that's how old it is, you know? Dinosaur bones, shit like that. If you find a fucking spacecraft as part of an archaeological dig, it's going to be old. Very, very old. These things crash. There is a couple videos. It's like Bigfoot. You could have a guy dressed up, and we've seen the Jack Links commercials, so you know what a fake Bigfoot is. So, but there's like a Russian Yeti. There's like campers in like Russia, okay? And they're like hiding from this thing. And it's massive, you could tell. And it's big, it's like a white-haired Yeti. Grabs one of their like camping backpacks, and the backpack's massive, so you could just see the size comparison to the backpack to this huge thing. And one of these guys had a keychain with pepper spray on it, and the thing fucking maced itself in the face, drops the backpack, starts freaking out, and they're right at the edge of like a mountain. And you see this thing fall down the mountain, and you could tell, dude, it's got weight to it just by how it flips, like fucking crazy. If you guys can find that footage, it's super, super funny, but it's like Holy shit, is that real? Also, in the book of Enoch, it talks about something called miscegenation. And if you don't know what that is, that's crossbreeding. So if you're taking a human and a dog and making a hybrid out of it, like look in Egypt, a lot of those guys had, like Anubis had a dog head. There was cats that had, like cat heads. They think that the Sphinx is a cat head. Um, what else? Birds, cranes, um, Thoth. He's that bird-headed guy. He was Thoth the Atlantean, and he was a king and a pharaoh, I think, and a leader. But like, they think so. In the Book of Enoch, they talk about like giants, fallen angels, the Watchers, miscegenation, which is just crossbreeding humans. They say that the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve ate the apple, that was a laboratory of sorts, um, because those were the first humans, and they were called the Adamo, um, and they took this DNA and put it inside of, I forgot what her name was, um, and she birthed the first humans, the Adamos or whatever. A lot of crazy stuff, man. You guys got to look into it. I'm trying to think of other stories I could tell you guys that are like conspiracy theory style. Um, do you guys have any topics you want me to talk about? Take it easy, man. Sleep good. Talk to you later. Actually, I'm gonna end the live right now. I'll come back probably in like an hour or two at most, something like that. Just gotta get a few things done around here. So, love you guys. Make sure to like the video. Double tap the screen. Super easy. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That's how you enter giveaways, contests, all the fun stuff. Be a part of the channel. Become a moderator if you want. But I'm gonna end the live right now. I'm gonna do a couple things around the apartment, and then I will be back in like an hour and a half ish. Love you guys. Take care of each other.